Have you ever scrolled through your feed and suddenly felt worse? You see friends on amazing vacations, colleagues celebrating huge wins, and influencers living seemingly perfect lives. You're more connected than ever, with thousands of friends and followers at your fingertips, yet a feeling of loneliness creeps in. Why is it that in an age of unprecedented connection, so many of us are feeling more alone? This isn't just a feeling, it's a growing crisis. Since the explosion of social media around 2010, rates of depression and anxiety among teens and young adults have skyrocketed globally. It's a paradox that has researchers, parents, and even users themselves asking, what is the hidden cost of our digital lives? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this phenomenon, exploring the deep psychological impact of the platforms we use every single day. When we think of social media, we think of connection. And it's true, platforms like Instagram, TikTok, X, and Snapchat help us stay in touch with family, find communities with shared interests, and even spark social movements. With billions of people logging in daily, these platforms have become the new public square. But they do so much more than just connect us. They've created a world of constant performance, comparison, and a relentless quest for validation. The core of their business model isn't our well-being, it's our attention. The algorithms are masterfully engineered to keep us scrolling, tapping, and engaging for as long as possible. They learn what triggers our emotions, be it joy, outrage, or envy, and they feed us more of it. This design, while brilliant for business, has profound and often negative consequences for our mental health. We're not just passively consuming content. We're actively participating in a system that can exploit our psychological vulnerabilities. Let's break down the first major psychological trap, the comparison trap. Social media is, by its very nature, a curated highlight reel. People post their proudest moments, their most flattering photos, and their biggest achievements. No one posts the boring Tuesday morning commute, the argument they had with their partner, or the rejection letter they just received. Yet, we unconsciously compare our own messy, complicated, real lives, with all their ups and downs, to these carefully constructed, picture-perfect fantasies. This constant, unfair comparison can leave us feeling inadequate, like our own life doesn't measure up. We see a friend's engagement photos and wonder why we're still single. We see a peer's promotion and question our own career path. This isn't just a fleeting feeling of envy. Over time, this chronic sense of falling behind can erode our self-esteem and become a significant contributor to depressive thoughts. We start to believe the illusion that everyone else has it figured out, and we're the only ones struggling. Next up is something psychologists call the validation loop. It's the digital equivalent of a slot machine. When you post a photo or a status update, you're pulling the lever. The likes, comments, and shares that follow are the payout. Each notification delivers a small hit of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical, which creates a pleasurable sensation and reinforces the behavior. The platforms are designed to make this loop as addictive as possible. But what happens when the validation doesn't come? A post that gets fewer likes than expected can trigger feelings of rejection, anxiety, and self-doubt. It can feel like a direct judgment on our worth. We start asking ourselves, what did I do wrong? Don't people like me? This creates a dependency where our self-worth becomes tethered to online metrics. We're not just sharing a moment, we're seeking approval. This constant need for external validation can be exhausting and emotionally destabilizing, making us more vulnerable to feelings of worthlessness when the digital applause fades. Then there's the pervasive anxiety known as FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Social media provides a constant, real-time window into what everyone else is doing. You see parties you weren't invited to, trips you can't afford, and inside jokes you don't understand. This relentless stream of others' experiences can trigger a deep-seated anxiety that your own life is less exciting or fulfilling. You might be perfectly content staying in on a Friday night until you see a dozen stories of friends out at a concert or a cool new restaurant. Suddenly, your quiet night feels like a personal failure. FOMO keeps us glued to our phones, compulsively checking updates to make sure we're not being left behind. This state of hypervigilance is mentally taxing and can lead to dissatisfaction with our own choices and circumstances, fostering a sense of social anxiety and inadequacy. It convinces us that the good life is always happening somewhere else, without us. Beyond these psychological traps, social media has also become a breeding ground for darker behaviors like cyberbullying and online shaming. The perceived anonymity of the internet can embolden people to say things they would never say to someone's face. A single cruel comment or a humiliating meme can go viral in minutes, reaching thousands or even millions of people. For the person on the receiving end, the emotional harm is immense and inescapable. Unlike schoolyard bullying, cyberbullying can follow you home, into your bedroom, 24/7. The public nature of this humiliation can lead to severe anxiety, depression, and social isolation. Victims often feel helpless, as the digital evidence is permanent and easily spread. This constant threat of public judgment and shame adds another layer of stress to the online experience, turning what should be a space for connection into a potential minefield of emotional harm. Finally, let's talk about one of the most direct physical impacts social media has on our mental health: sleep disruption. How many of us have a nightly ritual of scrolling through our feeds right before bed? This habit is detrimental for two key reasons. First, the content itself, whether it's an exciting video, a stressful news article, or the FOMO-inducing posts we just discussed, keeps our mind stimulated and alert when they should be winding down. Second, and more critically, the blue light emitted from our phone and tablet screens suppresses the production of melatonin, the hormone that tells our body it's time to sleep. This disruption to our natural sleep-wake cycle makes it harder to fall asleep and reduces the quality of the rest we do get. And the link between poor sleep and depression is undeniable. Sleep deprivation exacerbates depressive symptoms like low mood, poor concentration, and lack of energy, creating a vicious cycle. You feel down, so you scroll to distract yourself, which leads to poor sleep, which makes you feel even more down the next day. The evidence linking these behaviors to poor mental health outcomes is overwhelming. Numerous studies have found a strong correlation between heavy social media use and higher rates of diagnosed depression, anxiety, and psychological distress. The data is particularly alarming for teenagers. Research from institutions like the Pew Research Center has shown that since 2010, coinciding perfectly with the rise of the smartphone, there has been a staggering increase in depression, self-harm, and suicide ideation among adolescents, especially girls. The World Health Organization has also flagged the mental health of young people as a major global concern, with social media pressures being a significant contributing factor. Experts from the American Psychological Association have echoed these warnings, urging for more mindful use of technology. This isn't just speculation. It's a pattern documented by leading health and research organizations around the world. The numbers paint a clear and concerning picture. The more time we spend in these curated digital worlds, the greater the risk to our real-world mental well-being. So, what can we do? The solution isn't necessarily to delete all our accounts and go live in a cabin in the woods, though a digital detox can be incredibly beneficial. It's about reclaiming control and becoming more mindful and intentional with our use. Start by curating your feed. Unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate or anxious. Fill your feed with content that is genuinely uplifting, educational, or inspiring. Set boundaries. Designate specific times for checking social media, and avoid using your phone for at least an hour before bed and first thing in the morning. Turn off non-essential notifications to break the cycle of constant distraction and validation seeking. Most importantly, focus on real-world connections. Make time for face-to-face conversations with friends and family. Invest in hobbies that get you away from a screen. The goal is to use social media as a tool, not to let it use you. It's crucial to remember that social media isn't inherently evil. It has the power to connect us, to build communities, and to share incredible ideas. But like any powerful tool, it must be handled with care and awareness. The key is to shift from passive consumption to active, intentional engagement. Ask yourself, why am I picking up my phone right now? How does this app make me feel? By being honest with ourselves about the impact it's having, we can begin to build a healthier relationship with technology. And if you find that you're struggling, that these feelings of sadness, anxiety, or loneliness are overwhelming, please know that it is a sign of strength to ask for help. Talk to a friend, a family member, a doctor, or a mental health professional. There are resources available, and you do not have to go through this alone. Thank you so much for watching and for taking the time to explore this important topic with me. If this video resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And for more content on psychology, well-being, and navigating the modern world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. Take care and remember to subscribe, or you will never hear from us again.